One thing about humans is that we are so adaptable. And oftentimes that's something that is talked about within the realm of describing our strengths as humans. And sometimes that same quality can mean that we get used to things that are not really working for us.
Oh, it's so beautiful. So this video is really exciting. We just celebrated our 1-year anniversary of living in our little tiny home, which we absolutely love. We love it, we love it, we love it. And like anywhere, there's a few things in the interior with the storage and the interior design that just hasn't quite been working. And so we are so excited to say that we finally decided to do a total transformation. And so this video is that story.
If you have followed my story, you know that our tiny home was not in as good condition as we thought it was when we bought it. And that led us to having to do a significant rebuild of its structure while racing the oncoming freezing winter temperatures before we could move in last year. That whole journey I documented on my channel, and if you're interested, here's the link to watch that series. And since then, living in the tiny house has sort of been a constant work in progress in a lot of different ways, which has meant that we haven't been able to fully make it a home until now. So, the beginning of this transformation really started this summer.
Oh boy.
Well, we were definitely not planning on this today in any shape, or form. Starting with a leak. Now, where we are is we have to disassemble this whole thing. This is coming down and we're never putting this back up because the way that this is assembled is so bad. Which is kind of exciting. We feel really good about this for a bunch of different reasons.
Because this happening, interestingly, has opened up a lot. I was gonna say like a can of worms, but it's not worms because it's actually really beautiful things, but it's a lot of things. A lot of questions that we're now asking ourselves.
Okay, wait. I
know, that's why I stopped.
You know how sometimes something can happen in life that's totally out of your control, but it reflects back to you something that you really needed to learn about yourself? That's what this was for us. It made us confront that we had fallen into constantly accepting compromising ourselves to make things work. Now, compromise is okay sometimes, but not when it's necessary all of the time in order to make that thing work. Because then, in reality, it's not actually working. And now, because of this situation, we had to create something different. And this whole process created a big shift for both of us. Going through this, I realized I think a lot of us accept a compromised version of our life because we can make it work, you know? But the problem with settling in that way is that you start conforming yourself to compromise, and you lose a part of yourself in that. And because you lose connection with yourself, you stop asking yourself, what do you want? And you stop thinking in a way and taking actions to empower or create what's possible. So it was here, amidst all of this, that this makeover and transformation really started for us. It took us a few months to get clear on what we wanted. Plus, life just happened and we got busy with a lot of other projects. But now we were finally ready to make the transformation happen.
It looks great.
Yeah.
Except for this. Will you just take a look?
Took us a while while to figure out what we wanted to put here. So it's just been like this ugly thing. Finally gonna do something with it.
Our plans for the makeover was to tie up a lot of loose odd and end projects like painting the kitchen area and also some bigger changes. We designed and planned to build a 4-foot extension to the kitchen that would include a full cabinet build out below so that we could have a pantry and more storage for other things. And then for the rest of the space, we planned to put in a shelf or two, make a cozy sitting nook, add some curtains, and then really do a lot in terms of streamlining our interior organization and decor. But we wanted to do this in a way where we were reusing materials that we already had, or being really efficient with the materials that we did need to buy. One of the things about living remote is that for a lot of projects, there's nowhere to buy materials and supplies nearby. And so, while we're not exactly happy about it, we end up having to order some things online. And sometimes that means we can't finish a project, or a project is put on hold until the thing we need is delivered.
Oh, who am I kidding? We're sitting outside and opening this box. Yay! We're gonna put these over our kitchen underneath the new shelf that we just built. So I just got a notification that our packages were delivered. Yeah, so it's exciting. Let's go get them. You excited?
Sure.
Big one.
So we just got the brackets for the shelves that we're going to install. Nice. I'm really interested to see if these work for our windows. Maybe it's because I'm a 90s baby, but having a remote to turn lights on and off still feels like such a incredible experience. Like I feel magic. Okay. Anyway.
That's not bad at all.
This is gonna look so good.
Hello everybody and welcome back. I say welcome back because we've actually jumped ahead in the timeline by a few weeks. Or no, actually it's been like a month since we started this project. Basically what happened is I went on a trip for a few weeks, and then immediately after I got back, Noel and I went on an international adventure and trip, which was so amazing, and we just got back, but it's already the first week and a half into December, which explains the little holiday tree that I have now, which is some foreshadowing for the next episode. I want to do all of the projects, all of the decorating for solstice or Yule or Christmas or whatever it is you celebrate, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah. But basically all of that to say that while I was away on my trip, Noel surprised me by finishing a huge project that we had planned for this renovation. He finished our kitchen extension, which is just, it's so amazing to have this, and it looks so good. He did such an amazing job to finally have a place to store all of our food. Like, we have a little pantry now, and store a bunch of our other things like our trash can and the cat food and just all of the things. And then it's also so incredibly nice to have all of this extra counter space. Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. And as it goes, like, you know, it's always so interesting when you build something because you have a plan and you start using it, or you start spending time in the space. Like with this place, you know, all of our plans of what we thought was gonna work, like now that we've lived in this space, it's like, oh wow, that would not work at all. But with this, we've actually discovered change our original design and some of what Noel has already done and add some more shelves so that we can have even more storage. And so that's what I'm planning on doing today. And then there's still so many other things that we need to do. So first I need to get dressed, and then let's get started. All right, here we go. Okay, so the first thing to figure out is not to slouch. You don't realize how much you're slouching until you film yourself and you're like, oh wow, I slouch all the time. Okay, so the first thing that I need to figure out, okay, so what I'm thinking is to install 2 new shelves. One here for smaller things up top, and then another one that's gonna go above and behind the trash can area, because there's this whole section where we can implement more storage. And then once I get the shelving done, I'm going to install some curtains so that we're not looking at this, all of this busy situation that's going on. We had this massive massive bracket left over from when we were fixing the wall. This is way overkill for a shelf, but since this is only temporary, you know, we're only using it for the next like 6 months or so before we do the complete rebuild. This is what we're gonna use because it's what we have. I have loathed the way that this looks forever. You're supposed to protect the rubber of the wheels, but we finally got wheel covers because we finally had the color that we wanted. Oh my god, I could not wait another second. I'm so excited. Oh my god. Okay. Oh, look how much better that looks. I still have to do the other side. So much less hodunk and crappy. Oh my god. Okay, moving on. First time using a table saw, so Noel's showing me how. So I'm saying this after the fact because I realized that my audio wasn't recording when I filmed myself talking about this the first time. But basically, I decided to also take this shelf off, and I'm going to actually make it a little bit lower than it was because it didn't need to be as high as it was. And then that way, the second shelf and the third shelf will have more room. Okay, so I have no idea what I'm doing or how to do this.
Or even
All right,
if,
what's the total? The total is...
let's say, another option would it be if we just like eyeballed where we want to put this
Uh-huh.
and then mark it with a pencil?
Sure. Yeah. Okay, yeah, like right here. I think it'll be easier if we measure.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
Okay.
But
And just mark both sides.
yeah. Okay. 2.0. I probably should have watched a YouTube video. That's an inch.
Okay. So want to put it at like 11 and a half?
Right. I think that's good enough.
2-person job. For sure.
Hannah just left. That was so fun. Thank you, Hannah. It made it so much more enjoyable. Also, I don't know if I'm in focus. Jeans were the wrong idea for a job where you have to crouch all day. Silliest idea. Don't wear jeans. So I gotta move fast because I'm losing light. Put the shelf at like, I think 12 inches. I think that'll be it. Are you gonna help now? Are you gonna help? And it's level! Good morning. Oh no, it's now afternoon. It's much late in the afternoon. We very unexpectedly got a ton of snow last night, and I spent almost all of the morning outside frolicking, as one does. It was just so wonderful. This is why I love this lifestyle. But I didn't end up filming me finishing all of these last night. I kind of just cut to because it just got kind of boring and repetitive. But I finished. The amount of more storage that we have now is so wonderful and was so needed. It just makes so much more sense having 3 shelves. I will say though that this little shelf, it was so ridiculous how hard that ended up being. That probably took me like an hour. That tiny shelf, it was absolutely ridiculous. And mostly because it's like the bracket, you had to line up the screws with the bracket, and then the screws were too long, so then I needed, anyway, it was a whole thing. It was kind of ridiculous. But this is why I'm loving doing these kinds of projects, you know, because this is not our final build. Our final build will be we're taking her down to the studs in the summer and spring and doing a full rebuild and a total redesign. But it's so good to have little projects like this because, you know, I have no idea what I'm doing and I'm just learning as I go. And I learned so much from this, including, oh, this was a big thing. So we very quickly realized, and we were aware of this actually before I finished this, but the problem with really big, deep storage is the stuff in the back gets lost. So I did a little bit of research, and I think what we're gonna do, although I can't order them in time, I think for the end of this video, so I might not do it in this video, but maybe sometime in the future I'll install these, is the slide out trays. It's like you install 2 tracks and then it slides out so you can get to the stuff in the back. We will definitely be wanting to do that in here and also in our future build. That was a really good learning point. The other thing is implementing every inch of storage. This tiny little shelf is kind of insignificant, but it actually makes a really big difference. And as we go forward designing our next, the rebuild of this, I think, yeah, that's going to be the name of the game, is like every inch is going to be planned out and specifically optimized for storage. But okay, so I actually have a ton to do today. Well, I'll just get started, but we have a lot to do today. So now is the special part. That's perfect. Yep. It needs to be a little higher. Redo. So now we're kind of getting into the fun side, the more design side. And the next thing that we need to figure out is I need to choose fabric for both to cover the shelves so I don't have to look at all of the clutter situation. And then also I need to choose a fabric to cover this area. So these pillows currently don't have any covers on them, as well as this cushion, which I've just been covering with this sheepskin fleece. But I need to decide. I've got a few different options here that I'll play around with and see what looks best. So as you can tell, we're continuing with the theme of blue. It's really beautiful, but it's not the color that I would necessarily choose for my living space, but there are certain key accents and aspects of the space that we just aren't going to change right now. Like, for example, they installed the really cute little blue fridge, which I love, and that's just such a statement piece. And then also we have all of this aluminum metal siding on the inside as well, which kind of gives it that kind of cool color. And then, you know, we have a little blue teapot, and actually these curtains are also from the previous owner. And once we decided, like, okay, we'll just keep the blue, we decided to keep these as well. And yeah, so everything else we've kind of just been sort of orienting to this blue color. Okay, so for over here we have two options. I got this just piece of kind of plain fabric. Yeah, I could use this. That's cute. Yeah, I know I'm going to use this fabric to go over the pillows, so let's see. What does that look like? It's just kind of a rough idea, but that's cute. But let's see what the other one looks like. I thought that this might be really cute. It's super matchy-matchy, which, I don't know. Good, bad, right or wrong, I don't know. But we had all this extra because we like to keep our big windows open. And what I could do is just, there's all this extra, I could just like sew it together, attach at the bottom. Huh. I kind of like that better. I know for a fact that the bench seat, I got this really great canvas, which I need to steam out, that I'm going to sew for a cover for that. It's here, and then this blue, but if I use this, that's too much canvas. That's just too much canvas. All right, great. Now that I made that decision, I have a lot of work to do. Gotta get all of these things done and ready, and yeah, okay.
Good morning. We are in the final push of this project, and I am so excited and so ready to be done. So we decided last night that we're gonna take it one step further to make sure that it is a total transformation and make sure that this space is really cozy and how we want it. We've decided to take all of the decorations down, all of our kind of stuff that we have in here, books, decorations, and go through all of it and then only put back what we know we really want in the space. So one thing that Noel and I have discovered living in this space already for about a year now is that because we don't have a lot of storage, it doesn't take a lot for things to start feeling really crowded and really
Cluttered.
Yeah, cluttered, exactly, cluttered. And so what we've decided to do is for now go with a more intentional minimalist approach to our design and decor. So we've taken absolutely everything out. We're gonna go through each and every item and either store it more appropriately and more efficiently or put it away, and then we're gonna decide what pieces we want displayed and what we want out. But this is actually the really, really fun part because we get to completely redesign the decor of the space. Corners actually don't look bad. Nice. This is one of my favorite things about living in a tiny house is you have to get creative and there's always room for innovation and creativity. Like, what do you mean I don't have room to steam these pieces of fabric that I'm about to turn into a curtain? You always just have to think a little bit outside of the box. And I love that. I love that.
actually kind of nervous because I haven't sewn in forever. Oh, I do know I need to do the bobbin. A bobbin conundrum, if you will. Who came up with the word bobbin? You know, just what a great word. Bobbin. It's definitely going to be a learning curve with this. We're so close. This is one of the final things that I need to do. And then tomorrow we will do the reveal. Well, the sun is going down. It's nice and cozy inside. Got a fire going. I think I'm gonna take this belt off. Maybe take a shower, change my clothes. I think I might put on a movie. I'm thinking The Holiday because that just sounds amazing and so cozy. Hi, Bubba. Oh,
I like.
The sight of him, heart pounding, throat thickening, absolutely just kills its victims. It's called Hi guys, do you want to show everybody? So we are finally done, and I just thought I would give a little walkthrough. This is so cozy. This area is like a little nest almost. Just to get really cozy, and we've added a lot of pillows, and what we did mostly was simplify kind of back here. So there's just a wooden statue that I got in India, and then there's some candles back there, but it just really simplified everything. Because we were kind of going with these cool tones, I was so happy to find and use this really beautiful quilt. It's kind of like a sea foam blue green, kind of ties everything together. It's really nice. And then over here, Noel's little bedside table where we keep all of our wood. This little area, sometimes it's nice to sit by the fire. The cats like to be here. This is our little kitty cat bed, and sometimes they like to be kind of away from the fire, and sometimes Bubba especially likes us to put it right there so that he can be really close to the fire. Then we've got our little cat scratcher for them. This also too, like if we move this, it's a nice little sitting spot. Sometimes I will pull out, we have this little table that you saw me sewing with, and I'll put the little table here and sit there and do some work. Or if we have somebody over, you know, like 2 or 3 people can sit over here. Hi, Lil. And then, you know, we can have another person here and another person here. And yet sometimes the bed becomes a place where people sit as well. I forgot to mention are these baskets that I found. Actually, Hannah gave me this one, and then I got this one for free actually from a friend. But they've provided a lot of really nice extra storage. I'm so happy with how this came out using this canvas fabric. And originally I was thinking about sewing something, but instead I chose just to pin it because this is such good fabric. I wanted to be able to reuse the fabric. And actually that's exactly what I did with the pillows as well. Rather than sewing covers for them, I just simply pinned them in the back because this is such beautiful fabric. And I don't know, maybe I'll turn them into actual pillow covers at some point. I just thought to save the fabric. And then this is one, I know this might seem kind of silly, but this was one of my favorite additions that we did. This was kind of a last minute idea, is we installed this wood here with this little lip. The story behind it is I was in the wood shop and I just saw a few pieces of wood, and I asked Noel, I said, you know, hey, do you think we could turn this into adding a wood accent behind the sitting area? And he was like, yeah, I think
think we can do that. And it's so nice. It's just really balances out, like having that different colored wood accent there just really balances out everything. And then of course we have our new little bookshelf, which I'm so happy to have. I probably would have done a different size bookshelf here, but this was what was left over from cutting this board. And then, oh, of course, we have to mention that we decided to go with the very earthy aesthetic, and we changed all of our curtain rods to this willow. Unless you really look, you don't really notice. So we used to have a lot more out over here, and I had a bunch of stuff out here, but simplifying and streamlining streamlining this is just, it's such a relief. Like, I love adding personality to a space, but to have the kind of peace of mind that just simplicity offers is honestly so much more worth it right now. This is actually how Bubba sleeps most of the time, just belly up. Then Lil is our general basket cat. Do you like your basket? Yeah. And then we make our way to the kitchen, which has just been vastly improved by installing this shelf here. It's so nice to have this open and to have all of this extra space here instead of before, you know, it was that giant cabinet. And then we did have to install this lip. I don't know if it's because we just used, as you can see, like 3 brackets underneath, but this is not level, and actually we lost all of our plates. When you shut our front door, you know, it shakes this wall. We were doing a project one day going in and out, and all of our plates fell to the ground, which is really sad. But hey, I got all 6 of these at the thrift store for 69 cents each, and they're really cute. They're really cute. They do the job. This area was the main building that we did for this, and to have all of this storage is absolutely phenomenal, and then all of this extra counter space is just amazing. You know, I've been doing so many projects here. I kind of want like a little stool, and then I could use this as like my desk or something. This is what I sewed. They came out really good. The main thing is that the fabric that I had just wasn't long enough, so all I did was add on this piece at the bottom here, and you can barely tell. It's really nice, and it's so nice having this covered. And now we have all of this extra storage, our little pantry, and overall we're just really happy having this very simple minimalist look right now, because the less clutter the better. You know, obviously I like to decorate things to really make spaces my own and kind of make it a bit maximalist, but you know, right now simplicity and streamlining organizational things is like really key, and so we love it.
Thank you so much for watching and for visiting our cozy little cottage and corner of the world. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking, commenting, or subscribing. It makes a world of a difference for creators like me. I'll see you in the next video. Wherever you are in the world, I'm sending you my love.